Hey, it is Robyn Ellis, and otherwise known as Inspired Robyn Healer, and I'm coming to you with what I think will be my new way of doing the monthly energy. I'm going to use the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle deck by Amanda Ellis from Angelic Celestial Colours for this month's reading. It's the 1st of November today as I record this. And I started the day and the month by falling down my stairs. I won't give you the pleasure of seeing my second toe on my left foot, but I do have a bit of a bruise on my elbow, which has got a bit of like my stress rash growing on it since it happened. And my ankle and toe are not happy. But it could be worse, and I'm still trying to understand what it's about exactly, but I have been noticing a lot of my stuff that I'm still needing to, that I thought, I guess, was getting better, continuing to show up, and yeah. Enough on me. Let's see what the energy is in general. According to Archangel Metatron, I'm just going to pull one card from the Metatron deck, and I'm also going to pull a Secret Language of Animals Oracle card as well, because as you know, I like to get animal messages. And this card deck is by Chip Richards, and I really love the illustrations and the messages on this card deck in particular. So we're going to have an animal as well as a Metatron message today. So for November 2022, what do you want to share? Action, movement needed. Now I just watched Amanda Ellis on her Angelic Celestial Colours Instagram do a daily video today, the 1st of November, and pretty much action was definitely something worth getting into, despite what we are feeling and experiencing. The way through is to continue to step forward in action. So I'm going to read the channeled message as I always do on my weekend energy readings. It's number 9, which I was born on a 9. That's interesting. A 9 energy, which the number 9 is very much to do with completion of a cycle. So we're moving through to our next phase, and in order to do that, there may still be some remnants of our old self that we no longer want to move forward with and carry into the next part of our journeys. And I think that's what's coming up for me personally, so you may find the same for you. Anyway, so action, movement needed. Card number 9 is supported by the energy of Mars, planet of action and dynamic movement. I've also been seeing this kind of message coming through from a lot of the others that I associate with in this space of energetic healers and Reiki healers in my lineage, talking about going with your guidance and moving forward with what you know is right for you, and not letting others dictate to you, or even spirit dictate and tell you what to do. That's another message I'm sensing. I'm getting a bit dizzy in the head, so that usually means that there's something with that. It's either I get an itchy nose or I feel that nervousness kind of feeling, because it is a bit scary for some of us anyway. If you relate to my energy, then you'll understand what I'm talking about here. So card number 9 is supported by the energy of Mars, planet of action and dynamic movement. Successful completion of anything worthwhile belies the fact that much work, effort, triumph and setback has likely gone into its making. Can you relate? Whatever you are asked to do, be or try at this time needs to start not just with a thought but with action. And that was what Amanda was saying. She was talking about that exactly, those words exactly. to actually not sit around just thinking about it. It's not going to get you anywhere. Action, however small, needs to follow thought. Yeah, she was talking about having a plan. We can all sit in there making plans and having plans and, you know, drawing it all up, but it takes the action to the plan that makes things happen. So, between now and November 11/11/11 Gateway. Anyway, action, however small, needs to follow thought. It is the law of the universe and the way anything is created. So often you stall, waiting for the perfect condition to begin, and yet why wait? Tomorrow may never come. You only have today to live, so live it now. I feel like this is a message for me. If you follow me, you may be similar. Don't put off any longer that which you wish to do. Any step toward the goal you seek at this time is correct. There are no wrong paths to take. Any mistake to be made is part of the learning process, and every achievement is acquired to spur you on. To succeed is also to fail. A baby has to fall many times before it learns to walk, and so too must you be prepared for a path that may not always be smooth, but always has an assured positive outcome as long as commitment and dedication are observed. Well, I fell down the stairs today and I got up and I went to yoga still, so there you go. And I had a client come today as well to do a case study for my master teacher. So that was, and quite a productive day considering I fell downstairs. I still went into action, and I think that is a lesson for all of us. It wasn't that I was so badly wounded that I couldn't get up and continue to walk. So maybe there's some things for you to think about when it comes to stoppers, things that are stopping you moving forward and taking action. That's my message. Haha, love you, Archangel Metatron. Okay. A runner running a race has put in many hours of training, focus, and life changes to pass the winning post. It all started with one step forward and kept on going. Be not afraid of setting your goals high, of dreaming big, and of striving to be the best you can be. Shift your stance, your mental attitude, and your physical body into new experiences and new territory to meet the people you're meant to meet, the situations you are to encounter, and the support that undoubtedly will follow. You may have drawn this card because you're feeling stagnant, blocked, and unsure. If so, the guidance is to act, move, and create a new forward momentum. Keep your eyes set firmly on the horizon. Keep a clear head and a cool mind, and feel the surge of energy as you create that movement and action around you. Others respond to this proactive energy of positivity and flow forward as well. Archangel Metatron will sometimes push you, will sometimes encourage you, and at other times will stand back to see if you can keep going under your own steam. But he will never abandon you. To be active also means to be healthy. Seek fresh air, sunlight, and a body that serves you well. Feel Metatron close to you. Visualize and imagine and feel his light alongside you, helping you strive for more, to be in the best shape and to achieve all that you came here to do. But it starts with movement and often steps away from comfort zone into uncharted territories. Or areas, sorry. That's the words in the book, areas. Move, walk, run, write, play, create, live. It is why you are here, and do it today. I took a leap. Like, for those of you who are my clients existing and watching this, because I'm going to put this on YouTube as well and make it public. But this is also for my mailing list. I'm going to put it on my blog as well. I'm wanting to do this so I can reach more people. And I know video is my thing. I know getting on camera and talking to you this way is a lot more comfortable maybe than writing even. It takes me less time and you get a real natural vibe like you would if you were here with me in my studio having a healing session or on a Zoom call doing a distance healing. I'm here for you. I'm me. I'm sharing anecdotes. I'm sharing wisdom and, you know, stuff that makes my head spin like it is right now talking about this. There's so many things that I want to do, and I guess the energy that I felt today, and you may also feel it through this month, was very down on myself, unworthiness. Who am I to kind of energy. It's been constant for me this year. The fact that I have offered a 1 hour session for pretty much half the price of a 2 hour session, which makes sense to those of you who want to come more regularly but just have a tune up. I questioned whether that was lowering my standards, and I allowed it to make me feel like I was giving a discount again. After I'd sent the email, that I would back myself on this. And if no one's interested in it, then fine. Well, come and see me for 2 hours and really enjoy my company and, you know, the nurturing that you do get in the healing session with me. But I felt it was something necessary for those who want more regular sessions, because we do need them. I need them myself. I'm, you know, one to sit back and not go and see someone because of, you know, finances. And I'm going to be honest, that's something that's a trigger for me, finances and that kind of thing. But I need to step out and take action towards, you know, getting that seen to health thing, or mental health, or energetic balancing. You know, we can't always do it for ourselves. We can do so much, but when there's deep dive things, it's good to go see another person to guide you through it. I'm going to someone tomorrow, despite having, you know, emptied my bank account pretty much and tapping into savings to do it. Yes, I'm giving TMI, too much information, but that's who I am. I'm that person. And I guess that makes you either resonate with me or not resonate with my energy. And, you know, part of my goal and vision, and in taking this action, is to get myself out of that space of neediness when it comes to finances, because I'll be in flow and being of service, and at the same time creating that livable income for myself that allows me to have plenty of healings too, just like you come to see me because you work a full-time job or part-time job that pays you enough to come and have a session every once in a while. I mean, hey, I've invested in some big books. I haven't got them down here with me right now, but I've got the Medical Medium Brain Saver, the first book to the 2-book collection. So I haven't got the protocols, but I'm doing my research. These are things that I really am interested in because it ties in with what I do for my own health, for one, and what I'm working with energy for most of you guys who come to see me. I work on the body and we work on clearing stuff. And, you know, sometimes there's more than just the energy, and I've learned this recently. Sometimes we really have to take care of the whole kit and caboodle and work on what we're ingesting and what we're feeding ourselves, and taking away the stuff that is hurting us and harming us. And there's a whole bunch of information in there that relates to stuff that is personal for me at the moment, and that I know and that I've seen a lot through this healing studio over the past year. Things to do with, you know, nervous system, our brain, our headspace, and also COVID as well. Dare I say it live here. I mean, we've all had it, or, well, I know I have, all the members of my family here have at one point this year. And it wasn't, you know, smooth sailing. It did take some time to clear, and, you know, there's viral load whenever you get something. So there's some protocols that you can use that can help with that, as well as with the energy healing. So you can go home with the tools, now that I can look it up for you, and help yourself as well. So, and the other one was, it's Joe Dispenza. He's later, one of his books, but anyway, it will come to me and I'll probably do a video separately about it, but I'm reading it out loud to my daughter at the moment. So I think it's really quite powerful, and I'm curious to bring the meditations forward. And there's some other things I know, like there's so much action that I know I can be taking right now. And that's just, I wanted to share it with you and talk about that here on this monthly video. Let me know in the comments, or reach out to me if you've got anything that you want to share, just to put it out there. I have this diary, the moon diary, that I write like what I'm wanting to achieve this month. And I set the intention or at the beginning of the month. I haven't done it yet. I will do it after this video recording. To, you know, set some goals and some sort of, you know, steps you're going to take. I've found though for me, more than the steps, like I've written lists of things that I want to do, and oftentimes it just gets left and I don't really go back to the list. I'm not one like that. We're all different, and you might be a list person that ticks everything off per day. I find for me what happens is I sit there and I stare at the list and I try to do a couple of things and I get blocked on those things. What I find is I need to work with the energy and the frequency of how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling drawn to. And there's no more greater example of that is how things flowed for me on Friday. Like going to yoga, get invited to coffee, okay, I'll go for coffee, and then one thing leads for another, and you know, it's just a day where it was fulfilled and I didn't feel, I wasn't even hungry for the day. It was like far out. It was just flowing and blissful and beautiful. And I've had other days like that, and yet you have some days that you just don't. You fall down the stairs and then you have to, it's an effort to drag yourself up and keep going and get into action. But thankfully I had things to do and I just got it done. And it might not necessarily be a list, it's commitments that you make, that you set. So setting a goal or a couple of goals for your month and just intention around those goals and let the energy flow into achieving them. And protection, faith, and, you know, trust that it will all fall into place. Which brings me to another thing that I know had stopped me on my action and made me question, is that I did lose that when I fell down the stairs. I let the old kind of me, but not as much as I would have in the past, fall into that crying heap, getting upset about it and, you know, really hard on myself. Are you guilty of that too? Yeah, it happens even to the best of us. Probably happens to you too sometimes from time to time. How do I get through it? You know what? I talked it over with the only person that really was around, and that was my 12-year-old. And, you know, I went through this conversation of don't be like your mum. Don't do this, you know, take control. Be an action taker. Be this card. That's what I was feeling about the whole experience this morning, and even it was coming back this afternoon. Take a wrong turn, get lost, get off track. Eventually we found our way. We snuck off and we got one of my favourite vegan Death by Chocolate cookies from our favourite little coffee shop, which is miles away from home. But my goodness, once we got it and we bit into those chocolate bickies, it was worth it. It made everything feel better. Amazing that. Not that Medical Medium subscribes to cacao or coffee or any of those things, but you know, sometimes in our lives we have these little things that just make us smile from the heart. And that did, and it was just a thing that the two of us enjoyed together as a treat. And it was just, we will drive all the way to that place because no other place that we've been to so far has the best vegan, gluten-free, cacao-filled cookie that just hits the spot and makes you smile from the inside out. It really does. Anyway, enough about today. The first day of this month that we're pulling cards for. So we're starting with action, movement needed. Even if it's to drive a mile to get the favourite cookie just to make you smile from the inside out. So we got, that goes with this card, and it goes with what I was just saying. The Fairy Wren, Spontaneity, Vibrancy, Support, the Muse. I had someone come in and got this card the other day. So if you're watching this video through the email, You'll know who you are. I'm going to read the message that's channeled through about the fairy wren. It's quite a long message. I'll talk about the fairy wren to begin with, what they, are known for. But Spontaneity, Vibrancy, Support, the Muse. As I walk along the forest path, I feel the slight energy of being watched, of being talked about, of being guided on my way. Light and friendly beings dancing freely, but with purpose. I am welcomed to the realm of the fairy wren, while other members of the bird tribe bring us the perspective of great height and vision. Fairy wren dances into our world with the gift of spontaneous song that moves in close connection to the earth and the subtle, shifting, magical rhythms of life. With dome-shaped nests built close to the ground in thickets of pandanus, river reeds or cane grass, fairy wrens use the language of movement and song to communicate many different messages, from romantic courtship to danger warnings of approaching predators, to coordinated duets sung by fairy wren couples to enforce the boundaries of their territory. Celtic bards have long been inspired by the lyrical gift of the wren as a doorway to the muse, that mystical source of poetry, art, and song within. As my battery is getting a bit low, hopefully we can stay on. Beyond the spark that lights our creative fire, the Celts also honoured the wrens for their productive nature and unique way of sharing roles and responsibilities as a group to serve the greater whole. Fairy wrens live in extended families of 5 to 7 birds, with one primary breeding pair and a handful of offspring from previous years, usually males, who stay with the family to assist in raising the young of future generations before they inherit the forest to build their own communities. From the deep, so the message that comes with this card, from the deep song of your own soul comes the spontaneous whisper of fairy wren to honour the call of the muse within and to remind you that miracles are present in all moments if our eyes are open to see and receive. Be open to change, be open to turning completely around, in fact, and back again if the moment calls. Don't be attached to one way of doing things. Sometimes when we follow an impulse or creative idea, it begins to change shape on the journey to achieving it. If we are open to the possibilities of unfolding before us, we may realise that the original idea was just a doorway to another higher path. The only danger is to become so fluid that you lose sight of your intention and end up flitting this way and that way to chase the fleeting pulse of momentary whims. Fairy wren's message is to know the feeling of what you want and to move from that centre, knowing also that it may not look like you think it will. Tread lightly upon your path and be ready to see and seize moments of opportunity that you never dreamed might come your way. Think big, but don't think for too long. Trust your gut and dance with what is occurring. There is no need to fear choosing the wrong path or to become overly attached to what may have felt right yesterday. Each step leads spontaneously to the next, and only when you reach the other side will you look back and see the poetry and perfection of how the path unfolds. Stay light on your feet, be open to receiving help from those who love you, and be ready to spring into action, following the subtle shifts in light and energy on your path. And a little affirmation. With deep inner strength and lightness of being, I follow my muse and the pulse of the moment. And that goes in with what I was just saying, doesn't it? That absolutely goes. I was like talking about setting your intention for the month. And whatever your method might be for, creating your goals and intentions. I feel like just flowing, going with that good feeling flow, and that's what we're wanting to create in life. I had this conversation even with my daughter with regards to choosing subjects, and what you want to be when you finish school. Just feeling into, and it was told to me as well, I didn't know what I wanted to be exactly. I wasn't sure what I wanted to study or any of that stuff, and in the end I ended up dropping out. And now, even though I dropped out of being teaching, Bachelor of Arts Education, primary teaching, I'm I went on the travel path, you know. And then I end up here, and I'm, you know, about to finish doing my Reiki Master Teacher qualification so I can teach the energy healing stuff, you know. I could do it anyway. Like I practically do it when I'm doing a healing session or even here doing this video. Like, there's a lesson in the things that we share, and there is no coincidences when two cards come together so beautifully to share with us some wisdom for the month of November with regards to, you know, take action, movement is needed, follow that spontaneous vibrancy. You will be supported. You can be the muse, you can create and do the things that light you up in this action and find success. And don't let some of the naysayers and stoppers stop you. And more importantly, the stoppers that are up here, like for me today, that was happening. The stoppers that are up here, other stoppers that you may come across is comparing yourself to everyone else's stuff that they're putting out there. So you got to go into your heart and know who you are. For me, I love one-to-one healings. I absolutely adore doing that. I adore it. And the way that I bring these cards in, this particular card deck, this one, sets the intention for our healing sessions together. You'll get one card. And I tend to finish now with one of these animal cards. It might be one of the, like an animal wisdom, more summarized one that I've got here. They're by Chris Franken. Or the Australian wildlife wisdom, particularly if there's particular birds and animals that come tapping on the door, or we hear them in the garden outside. I might bring them in, or might have a spider walk across the roof and look up the spider message. And I also use the Animal Kin Oracle from Sarah Wilder, which I have on my phone. And perfect messages for everyone. So this is a general reading for the month of November. But if you were to come and have a healing session with me, you would get your own personal cards picked for you, relating to what it is we're working through usually. And so this would be relating to what we're working through, because I bring in Archangel Metatron as one of the guides that we work with. And then we'll finish off as you leave, after you've had your blissful healing session with, you know, my team of angelics and sometimes celestials, and shamanic was here today. We had the shamanic energy. I also had some galactic energy come in. Yeah. And we pulled a card afterwards, or two came out stuck together. Before I go, I want to share with you what I'm up to in November, given that it is November. We've got the Noosa Yoga and Wellness Festival on Saturday the 19th of November at Verrydale Hall in the Noosa hinterland, and it's from 6:30am until 6:30pm. If you're in the Sunshine Coast, or you're planning a trip and maybe plan it for this weekend, there'll be Pilates and sound healing, 6 yoga sessions included as part of the ticket in, so you can line up for those. Bring your mats, any other equipment that you might want to use for yoga. And we've got, it says 30 plus leading holistic, but this is the first original post. There's about 40 of us now going to be there, set up with healing sites and other things to purchase that are all of the yoga and wellnessy kind of vibe. So its tickets are $70 per person if you order before. So if you head to the Noosa Yoga and Wellness Festival, I might even put a link on the bottom of this video in the show notes. And yeah, at the gate it's $90 per person. I'm going to be offering healings for 20 minutes, $20, nice little price. And I'm also going to pop a little jar out the front. Anyone who pops by, whether you have a session or not, goes in the draw to win a 2-hour healing session with me. It can either be in person, remote, or via distance. So that's up for grabs for those who come by and say g'day. Yes, and the way that it will work is I'll have a list. You can come in if you arrive at 6am for the beginning and the opening with Marco and his didgeridoo and the sound healing, which is absolutely really good. He's part of the Zenko yoga tribe as well. So I've experienced his sound healing at the last festival I went to, which inspired me to get to this festival and set myself up there. Really, really, really good. So, what was I going to say? There was something I wanted to say on that. Must not be very important. Anyway, if you do want to book a session with me, my website is inspiredrobyn.com, and if you go to the services page, you can book a 2-hour session with me, either in person here in my studio in Budrum, remote, or via distance. So that will be it. Oh, there'll be a list that you can come in. Yeah, if you come into the gate at the Noosa Yoga and Wellness Festival, there will be lists for time slots for all of the practitioners who will be there. There's so many different modalities to choose from access bars to, I think you can get massages. What have we got? Spinal flow technique, someone who is doing astrology charts. There'll be breath work and meditation, access consciousness, facelifts, osteopath, Zen Tai, shiatsu, kinesiology, relaxing massage, anti-gravity yoga in the trees, which I love. Maybe I'll get a spare chance and I can go do some. There'll be a healing there. There's a couple of other Reiki masters. Yeah, Tibetan Ajna healing. A love coach with EFT tapping. So get yourself there if you're into yoga and wellness, and come and support us and come and have fun. Yeah, even if you just come and do the stuff that's free and enter the competitions that might be around the place. It's worth going. And just the vibration of everyone there will be so much fun. So good. I will see you all next month. Follow me on Instagram at Inspired Robyn for the weekend energy, which I usually film on a Thursday morning live on my Instagram around about, usually I'm on about 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 a.m. Queensland time. So whatever that translates for you where you are, but there'll always be the replay that you'll get to watch afterwards. So you've got replays of pretty much, I have only missed a few weeks over the past year since starting them last year. So I think I'm up to about 60 odd. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Oh, that was loud. And I'll see you again next time for the December reading. Bye for now.